Welcome to Island Express Hardware, where we work with your budget. We supply all paints, all brands, and all sizes. And we are, of course, the cheapest in Trinidad. We also supply pumps and water tanks, and we also have them in combo deals. Visit us for the best friendly customer service. Need steel, beams, and purlins? We got that. We have top quality lats and boxing board, plyboards, gypsum boards, you name it. Do you love to fish? Have no fear, cause we have all the gears. Visit Island Express Hardware today, located at Rashid Avenue, Kakandi Road, Felicity Shogunas. Welcome to Felicity Banquet Hall, where unforgettable memories are made. Whether you're planning a wedding, birthday party, corporate meeting, or any special gathering. Why choose us? We are spacious, elegant, and fully air-conditioned hall. Customizable seating for up to 200 guests. Beautiful decor and lighting options. On-site kitchen and catering services. We are available 7 days a week. Located at Rashid Avenue, Kakandi Road, Felicity Shogunas. Call the number on the screen today and book now.
Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on, those of you who have been anticipating our program, Hard Facts, that is live on Sentinel Media Broadcasting, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting time 12:15 in the afternoon. So again, my friends, I want to welcome you all to our program and ask you all, those of you who are locked on, share this video and let people know that, there is a voice. There is a voice. Maybe you will classify as a voice in the wilderness. But my friends, I want to let you all know that there's a voice for you, the citizens of our country who are hard pressed, those persons who are being challenged, those persons who are facing any difficulties outside there. You have an opportunity to call me in studio 3722129. That's the number you can reach me. And my friends, we are going to really and truly dissect matters of great concern when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago. We have the number on the screen, 3722129. Feel free to call me. Let us understand carefully, what has transpired, whether it be during the course of Monday, whether it be during the course of Tuesday. And today is Wednesday in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on in the Caribbean, those of you who are maybe watching us from North America, South America, and different parts of the country, again, different parts of the world, I welcome you to our program and ask you all to stay tuned to our program here today. Because I tell you all something, we having a little problem here, and I've been mentioning this over and over. I've been telling you, Trinidad and Tobago, that there is, we are paying for services. And I'm calling on the Minister of Public Utilities, the Honorable Barry Padarat, to really and truly do some investigation, research, and find out, really and truly, if the citizens of our country are really and truly being served properly when it comes to paying our monies for the services that were supposed to be offered to us when it comes to telecommunication, when it comes to Wi-Fi network. And I tell you something, we are paying exorbitant fees and we are not getting the value for our monies. And that is something that has to be investigated by the Minister of Public Utilities, the Honorable Mr. Minister Barry Padarat. So again, my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, those of you who are locked on, those of you who are on TikTok, the Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of India is coming to Trinidad. He's on his way. I think he is already in Trinidad, and tomorrow Thursday, or he is on his way. Tomorrow Thursday, the Ministry of Education have really and truly given time off so that people could really and truly be in the midst of welcoming the President, the Prime Minister of India, right? Again, when we look at what is taking place, we look at the issues. There is an issue that is taking place with the Islamic community, namely the Anjuman Sunnatul Jamaat Association, that is the ASHA, and there are many other organizations. They are really and truly identifying and highlighting some of their emotions. When you all think about that visit, you're going to realize that there are people who really and truly think to their minds, in their own minds, and they are encouraging their fellow brothers and sisters from the different parts of the country and the different sectors, in the sense that they are looking at how the Islamic community has been treated in India. They are looking at that. And again, I just want to verify something here to you all, Trinidad and Tobago. We are living in a multicultural, multi-religious society, right? And we have to understand that we have enough problem in our plate at this point in time to really and truly to raise any hornet's nest. To really and truly, there are many ways that we could have utilized, we could have done these things in a manner that would have been more appreciative. Because I just want to read something here for you all. The Anjuma, and I didn't really want to come in the program with this, right? What I wanted to come in the program with would have been the crime and the road rage and all these things that really and truly is affecting our country, Trinidad and Tobago. But again, the Anjuman Sunnatul Jamaat Association, that is the ASHA. Maybe the director can pull it back for me. I would like to read that letter. The public is a public statement. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, visits to Trinidad and Tobago. The Anjuman Sunat, you can just take it up for me, please. ASHA expresses its measured yet profound reservation regarding the official visit of the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Trinidad and Tobago. In light of the extensive and credible international concerns about his administration, you could carry it up a little bit, Director, on the screen. Treatment of Muslims minorities, and basically it would have been in relation to what is taking place in India at this point in time. And I would like to continue reading the letter. While ASHA respects the rights of sovereign nations to pursue diplomatic engagement, we believe it is necessary to critically examine Mr. Modi's political legacy, which includes the 2002 Gujarat riot, the Discriminatory Citizenship Amendment Act, the revocation of the Kashmir Special Constitution status, the symbolic inauguration of a temple on the site of the demolished Babri Masjid. Additionally, Prime Minister Modi has repeatedly employed divisive rhetoric referring to Muslims as infiltrators in public addresses, thereby fueling Islamophobic sentiments and legitimizing anti-Muslim violence. His government's recent introduction of the Waqf property eviction of authorized occupants has further alarmed observers, as its risk undermining centuries-old Muslim endowment and eroding institutional religious autonomy. These actions taken together have raised significant concerns amongst human rights organizations, legal scholars, interfaith community regarding erosion of pluralism and constitutional protection in India. ASHA therefore urges the public to approach this visit with thoughtful discernment and call on the Muslim community to respond with principled composure, advocating for justice, religious freedom, and human dignity through peaceful and constructive channels. That was signed by the Secretary General, Rahimul Hussain, and the Acting President General of the Anjuman Sunnatul Jamaat Association, Ahmad Hussain. All right, so again, my friends, those of you who are locked on 3722129, maybe you can give us your take. When it comes to the visit of Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi. Again, friends, Trinidad and Tobago, you can call me at 3722129, because I tell you something, at this point in time, it is leaving a bitter taste in the palates of many, many persons. Because I tell you something, in the Islamic community at this point in time, right? In the Islamic community at this point in time, you're going to realize that there are certain people who are for and people who are against. Now, the people who are for, maybe you can call me 372-2129, or the people who is against, maybe you can call me 372-2129, and identify maybe some of the reasons that you have selected no or yes for the Prime Minister visit to Trinidad and Tobago, and also so much so being given the order of the Trinidad and Tobago order, right? That is something that we have to really and truly dive into, because a lot of things is happening in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, and I would have said this before, right? We already have enough problem on our plate. We have enough problem in our country at the moment, with crime, with foreign exchange, with the economy, with taxes, with job losses. And to deal with this at the moment, my friends, really and truly, we have to understand carefully. He's going to spend maybe one day and a daytime, he's going to fly out, right? And those of you who are really and truly rebelling against whether the Prime Minister should visit here or not, we are going to have to live here. And if we really and truly understand carefully, we have to be very diplomatic. We have to really and truly be able to unify, have a unified Islam, a unified organizational structure when it comes to really and truly wanting our voices to be heard. Because I tell you something, there are so many things. I mean, I am a bit confused, right? I am a bit confused right now with the letter that the Anjuman sent, in the sense that you would have realized that they were very, very much silent in the past when it comes to many, many relevant issues. Many, many relevant issues, they were really and truly silenced, right? And they were not even saying anything. And to raise this issue now, I mean, I don't see a problem with the issue. I don't see a problem with the issue. But when we look at it, maybe the Prime Minister is going to be here for one day. And you look at what has been taking place in the whole Caribbean and different parts of the world. Maybe approximately 80 countries have already invited Prime Minister Modi to come to their country. And he was also given maybe the highest award of that country. So it's nothing new. But my point here today, my friends, and those of you who are locked on, feel free to call me. You can call me at 372-2129, and we can have some discussion on it. I'm not saying that what Asha did is wrong, but what I'm saying is that there were so many issues in the past that could have been raised by the Asha, but they were dormant, they were sleeping, they never said anything. And we are seeing now, on social media, there are groups of Muslims who are supportive, and there are groups of Muslims who are saying nay and yea, right? And my point is that tomorrow, when the Prime Minister land in Trinidad, or if he have already been here, I don't know. And maybe, again, friends, you're going to realize that there are going to be Muslim people there. There are going to be organization, different religious Muslim organization. And we ask the question, what would have been the outcome of those people being there, and the people who are maybe rebelling against his visit, what would have been their plight, right? And bottom line, Trinidad and Tobago, is that the lay Muslim communities, because you know what is going to happen here, I'm telling you, there's going to be discrimination taking place, whether at a governmental level or whether at different levels, it's going to have it, because I have already seen the war on social media. The battle on social media is on. Because I'm reading, and you look at it, you're going to realize that basically the Hindu elements and the Islamic elements, you're going to realize, you look at the name of these people, and you're going to realize they are for and against. And I tell you something, with me, I am very much neutral in the sense that I have seen and I have made clarion call on many, many occasions for the Islamic community to really and truly unite as a united force, so that we can be able to bring relief. Quran tells you, right? Quran tells you, save yourself and your family from a disaster that is much disastrous than any disaster that is taking place in this present regime, in this present world that we are living in. So those of you who are locked on, I'm 372-2129, and that's the number you can call me. And it is alarming to me, again, Director, maybe you can pull it up. and that would have been pertaining to crime. I would like to talk about crime, because I tell you something, this issue, Prime Minister coming to the country, really and truly is a good issue to dive into it. But again, you can't just say, well, you know, you have your opinion on that and that's final. What about the other people who may have different opinions? We have to reflect on that. When you look at the minority, Trinidad and Tobago, the Muslim community is a kind of minority. We are about 12.5 to 13% of the population. And there's 87% of the population maybe wanting the Prime Minister of India to come to our country. So again, what can we do? But there are many things that we can do to unite the Ummah in our country. 3 workers injured in supermarket robbery in Scarborough. That is E-Day supermarket in Scarborough. 3 workers was injured. I don't know how they were injured. I didn't really read the story. Come back, Director. What we have again on the list, on the lineup? Right, so those of you who are live on TikTok with me, you can maybe message me, let me know what's going on. I'm going to read it. Venezuelan Minister warns TNT must not become another Colombia. Venezuelan Minister of what? I would like to know, Minister of what warns Trinidad and Tobago not to become another Colombia. I really and truly, I didn't do any research on that issue. Again, Director, what we have lined up. What I want to talk about, basically, Beta man was killed, who killed cop when he was 16 years old, was released from prison. Beta man who killed cop when he was 16, released from prison. You know what I want to talk about is that that video that is circulating right now, where that the road rage video, where we saw police. This is what it is. The media is alluding to, that a police officer, a off-duty police officer, was the individual who was really and truly beaten or attacking the driver of that other vehicle. And people were asking about, what about the other part of the video? People were only seeing that piece. But I tell you something, being a police officer in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, right? You have to understand, you have to exercise highest jurisprudence. Means to say, you have to be patient. You understand, there's ways and means to do it. You take the number plate down, and maybe you can run a trace on it, and then maybe you can identify with the individual. If you have to give the individual a ticket, or you have to charge for reckless driving, or anything of that nature, my friends, that could have been done. But when I look at the cuffs and the punches that were taking place, and you know something, this is why, you know, a lot of people in America, right, when a white police officer would attack a Negro or a black individual of America, you know what they will cry? They will cry discrimination, discrimination, discrimination. In Trinidad and Tobago, once it is not happening to you as an individual, many of us really and truly shows no interest. That could have been your brother, that could have been your son, whatever. But I'm saying this, the hue and the cry has been silenced and nobody says anything. The point of question here is that the right thing to do? Because if that is the precedent that is going to be set by a person who's supposed to be a person of a stature, in the sense that people will try to emulate police officers in their dealings and so forth. And again, when we see that happening, if they could do it, normal lay citizens might say, well, if the police could do it, we could do it, because a lot of people saying that. A lot of people is against that. And I think that the police officer should come forward and maybe give his statement and maybe give his side of the story. And even so much so, the driver of the other vehicle maybe should give their sides of the story, so that the country would not go haywire with it. That's a problem that we are facing. So those of you who are locked on 3722129, give me a call. Let me know what is taking place in your area. Let me know whatever you think, or at this point in time, the government is just 2 months old, approximately 2 months old. And I'll tell you something, we have to be real. We have to be real, Trinidad and Tobago. Whether we say no, the Islamic community say no, or the Islamic community say yes, that has already been in the motion for the Prime Minister of India to visit our country. So it's not a matter we accepting or we're not accepting. It has been mandated by the government of the day. That has been mandated by the government of the day. And I think, my friends, we have to be people of, we have to show solidarity in the true sense of the words. Express ourselves, yes. Right? If we are against it, no problem. Talk about it, identify with it. Because the Anjuman Sunnat ul Jamaat, they have stipulated the reason why they think that, the Prime Minister visit to our country is not as it's supposed to be, as being welcoming as it's supposed to be. And that is the take that is being mentioned by the Anjuman, who represent a certain amount or a certain portion of the Islamic community. But maybe they don't represent the entire community of the Islamic faith. And these are things that we could really and truly identify. We can come forward and we can be able to talk, have discussions. Because I'll tell you something, when we look at the discrimination that has taken place by the past governments of our country, and many of us, we were silent. Many of us were silent. I am not going to be silent. There are issues. You see that international issue? I know for a fact that all I can do is like spit in the wind. Talk about it, yes. But I want to do things in my country to better the citizens of our country, better the performance of the government, not only criticizing the government, but also introducing corrective measures to whatever may be an anomaly that I think could have changed in a different direction. Right? So those of you who are locked on, I'm going to take my first break, and when we come back again, I am working really and truly with a kind of a system that is 50% functioning. So really and truly, we having problem here with our Wi-Fi, and I'm trying to see how best the director and the personnel up here could really and truly rectify that situation. So I'm just feeling, the marks and trying to see how best we can conduct our program here today. But anybody outside there who would like to call us, whether it be on TikTok, whether it be on Facebook, whether it be on WhatsApp, whether it be on YouTube, you can send messages for us. And my friends, we are going to read it. We're going to identify with it. Because a lot of things, like, let me just give you an example before we go on the break. A lot of people are saying this. They are saying that the government of the day is a puppet government. That's what they are claiming. They are claiming that on social media and the social network that is bandied about. Maybe if you have something to say, feel free to call me. Call me at 372-2129 and let us really and truly dive into it. And as I mentioned before, the name of our program is Hard Facts. So if you call us, make sure that you have hard facts, so that what we are saying, it is going to be the truth and nothing but the truth. Let's take our first break. Okay, my friends, pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are having your lunch break at this point in time, and really and truly, maybe you are having a special menu. Let me know exactly. Some of you maybe having some sort of situations that you would like to cope with, whether it be in your job places, whether it be via the public services, whether it be on the roads, what you are seeing. Maybe it could have been, whatever issues that you would like to raise on our program, Hard Facts, feel free, because basically, I have been watching, normally we talk about the infrastructure in the different communities. And tell us something, since the election was won by the United National Congress, right, that's approximately 2 months ago, really and truly it seems as though we are in a hibernation phase, because I'm not seeing anything really and truly happening, with the exception of Councillor Adrian Ali. I'm seeing a lot of work being done by him, and I want to say kudos and hats off to Adrian Ali, Councillor. I would like to see the other councillors in the borough of Shogunas really and truly identifying, because normally I would have seen posts upon posts on social media where things are happening, and again, I'm not seeing that. So Trinidad and Tobago is very, very important that you and I dive into that situation that is prevailing when it comes to infrastructure, right? Infrastructure. Last week and this week, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we were seeing the headlines would have been pertaining to CPEP. And we have seen a lot of atrocities being perpetrated when it comes to the CPEP contractors and so forth, right? So Trinidad and Tobago is very, very important that you and I come together and discuss it. We have a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.
Welcome, salam.
Let me just identify myself, Abzal Abdul from Princess Town.
Princess Town. Okay, Afzal.
Let me first of all say congratulations to you for your representation of the Muslim community in terms of this program, one, and in terms of what you are doing with IFST, and also congratulations on your dinner. I think it was successful.
Yeah.
May Allah continue to empower you so that you're like a lone wolf, boy.
Yeah.
I am very disappointed and disgusted at what is going on in this country, both at the political level, and when I say political level, I mean the authentic politics. And we have the religious level that we have politics playing off.
Yeah.
A lot of politics, and people don't know what they're doing, etc. The president of Iran made a little speech. I don't have the whole thing, but the gist of it is that we are so fragmented. We don't know what we want. We don't know where we're going. We don't know how we're going. And it is so reflective in the Muslim community. But I just want to make 2 points.
Go ahead.
One, the politics of the country, that is the government, and I'm very disappointed with both the PNM and this present government. However, the Muslims, it seems, if you look at the past, we had more representatives on the boards and so on, and in the PNM government than this present government. Now, they're just doing what they think is right? They appoint who will helping them, their friends, etc., for the state boards. You can't give them too wrong for that, because we have nobody representing and lobbying for us. Nobody. We're barring you, of course.
Just hold 1 minute, right? Remember, we had formed a group called Ummah TNT.
Yes.
Right, and that group would have been a fragment of the Anjuman Sunatul Jamaat Association, because in the initial we had about 18 or 19 steadfast, strong, upper floor members of the different Islamic organizations in the country, right? And basically, when we were lobbying for that. But the problem with that, with the same thing you're now talking about there, is that when we don't have a united, and the same thing the president of Iran, the Ayatollah, was saying, is that when the Islamic community is disunited, that's one of the reasons why I really and truly, whether the Prime Minister of India come or he don't come, that doesn't make a difference for me, and I'm not going to rebel.
That should. That is their business.
Against that. If the country Prime Minister, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisasa, want to invite whoever she wants, that is their diplomatic powers. And if she chooses to do that, I don't have a problem with that, because I have a problem with, I have a problem with myself not being vociferous enough to really and truly do the right thing, because I trying, as you said, I am a lone wolf. I've been trying for the longest while, but you know what happened? It seems as though I'm knocking on open doors. Go ahead, Afzal.
Yeah, excellent. I think you put it rightly. What the hell do we have in stopping or protesting against Modi coming to Trinidad? That is a governmental business, and they could only help Trinidad. What the Muslim community getting involved in that fight for? We have so many fights, issues to deal with that we are not dealing with.
We have enough
But
problems.
we know what's going on with the neighbor. We know what's going on with the neighbor, and we don't know what's going on with ourselves internally. We are so fragmented. I am very disappointed, disheartened, and I feel to just pull my way away from all these organizations. They are shameless.
No,
shameless.
I would advise you, brother, watch me. Stick with the organization that has the people for Dean, the people for truthfulness, and you as a man, you could be able to subscribe the difference in different organization, right? You would know exactly who going in for the booties and the bounties, and who really and truly going in there for the Dean, right? And who is going to serve themselves and their family. Because we could talk how much we want here today. Any political party going there, whether it's UNC, whether it's PNM, whether it's whoever going there, you're going to realize that they would have obligation to people who support them first, whether you like it or not. Right? That is the policy.
But Rashid, it is so glaring to us, to me, that we are going nowhere as a Muslim community, right? We are not even representing our people. We cannot get 2 people in governance. We cannot get 3 people in state board. When we watch the state board, not a single Muslim representative.
No,
I'm talking about true Muslim representative.
We like that, so because I'll tell us something, right? I'll tell us something. I was tireless. I was tireless.
Yes.
I was
correct,
tireless.
correct.
And I still are serving when it comes to the political party, the United National Congress. Right? And I'll tell us something, Trinidad and Tobago, you all have to understand these things. When, as the brother is mentioning there, I remember raising this very said issue. I raised this issue with the Prime Minister, past Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley. And you know what he said? You want me to increase the cabinet, to put more Muslims in that. I brought it up at a house there. And you know something? In that diplomatic center we were in there, we had many Muslim organizations, but all of them went there, you know what, to lick and to suck and you know what, to really and truly see what they could benefit. Because when I told them this, I told them this very sad thing, that the state boards, right, you're supposed to have a fair share, housing, the Islamic community, in the public service, in job. But we don't have any. When I started bringing those issues in the forefront, you understand? People thought I wanted something. But man, if I get something, I will give it back to people. I don't want nothing for myself personally.
Rashid, I have no questions about that. You have demonstrated that. But how could you serve people when all you want is for yourself? That is the position we, the Muslim community, in the people who lead in the organization. You've seen it clearly, only they not seen it. They're so self-centered and selfish. They're only thinking about themselves. They must lead. There must be this imam. There must be this president. They must be that, and they don't have the ability to do anything.
And I tell us something. Basically, they're just sitting down in a position. You know, I tell you something. I was saying this in the past, right? If we had a proper opposition when the PNM was in power, right? What would have happened? The PNM would not have gotten away. Now we have the United National Congress in power. I would have expected them to be vociferous in their actions. What I am happy with the United National Congress is that they have repealed the property tax, and that is a tax for that was a burden on the menial poor citizens of our country. I am happy with that. I am happy with 1 or 2 of the things that they have already put in place. But when it comes to state boards...
I see they fixing particularly. What I'm saying is that they are governing. It's their duty to do what they're doing. And I think they're doing what they have to do. But we are not doing...
What we have
people
to do.
Are not doing what we're supposed to do.
Let me tell you something.
That's the point I'm making.
Let me tell you something, Afzal, before you go, right? I tell you something.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this a lot, and I run through the social media on mornings, and I would have seen this morning, and you know something, there's a feud of words when it comes to 2 different religious persuasions. Because when you look at the name, you're going to realize that the Hindu community basically, and I've been real here, this is the program Hard Facts, I don't want nobody to hate me, because I mean I have enough haters already. But what I'm saying, you're going to realize that there's a war of words between the Islamic community and the Hindu community in our country. I am not for that. Because when I tell you something, Modi is going to leave tomorrow. He's going to leave tomorrow. He's going to
leave the problems and leave our problems.
Diplomatic connection with the country and so forth, which I am happy once it brings benefit to the country and the people of this country.
Of course.
right?
Yeah, of
I am happy
course.
for that. But the point here is,
Of course.
after these people leave, the people who are in the ground floor, because many of those people, they don't even go outside and interact. Many of these people
Yeah,
who are
yeah, yeah.
making this statement, nobody knows them. And people like me, who are in the ground floor, who are the business community, who have to really and truly deal with the different persuasions of people when it comes to religion, when it comes to color, when it comes to race, when it comes to you name it, I have to be in the ground floor mediating, meeting with these people. So when you choose to write
She,
things against and put the periscope and the spotlight negatively in this community, the Islamic
yes, correct,
community,
correct.
because you are not
Yeah, yeah.
credible. You are not credible. You are not credible in the past. You were not credible in the past because there are many thousands of issues that was done by the PNM, and it's now presently maybe the same thing is going to continue here. And who is going to stand up? And when you have people
You
like
have it.
Imam Rashid Karim, Afzal Abdul, and a few members who are really truly die-hard people of actions to really and truly bring, because you
Yeah.
brought something up there. When you look at state boards in our country at this point in time, all these state boards is going to be chosen. And when we look at the composition of the boards, and you find there is no Muslims in the board, keep your mouth shut, stay quiet. Maybe one of them
Yeah,
is
what
your
you talking
family and
about?
you are happy
But-
with that. Stay quiet.
But you're talking about Moody. You're talking
Yeah.
about Moody governance in India. And
Yeah.
you can't talk about our governance in Trinidad and Tobago and do something about it. Here is Imam. I know I have to go and I know you have to go, but I promise you I could come on your program to discuss these two issues.
Okay.
One,
let me leave it
the
to
lack of representation. You can write it down. Lack of Muslim representation in governance. Two, and the Muslim lack of foresight and leadership in the Muslim community.
Right, and before we close, we haven't been experiencing a lot of problem here with this internet. I'm paying big money for this internet. I'm going to change my internet service. I'm calling on the Honorable Barry Padarat, Minister of Public Utilities, to address this situation, because this has been happening, and there are many, many thousands of people in our country remain silent, and they believe that the fault is their own. The internet service, the Wi-Fi service in our country, where we pay approximately $400 per month, we're not receiving our values for it because the thing only buffing.
Look at that. You're talking again for the rights of the people, that we paying for that, and you're quite right. Throughout the country, we getting very poor service from all the providers.
Yeah.
None of the providers providing a proper service to the people. So, Imam, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to air my views, and may you continue with your hard work, and may you get success in whatever you're doing.
Right. Thank you very much,
Assalamu alaikum
Brother Afzal Abdul. And for those of you who do not know Brother Afzal Abdul, he is a very hard-working, sensitive individual when it comes to the affairs of the Islamic community, and so much so, the population of Trinidad and Tobago. And tell us something, he has been working tirelessly, whether it be in education, whether it be in sports, whether it be in health, you name it, he has been doing those kind of work. And I want to say hats off to Brother Afzal Abdul. And those of you who are locked on, you can call me at 372-2129. That's the number you can reach me at. Now, I'm telling you something here. Whether Kamala Prasad Bisesa and her government choose to bring Modi here or choose not to, because I tell you something, we have seen in the past other government bringing dignitaries in relation to their tribalistic values and religious persuasions, right? In the past. And many people remain silent. In our country, Trinidad and Tobago, we are approximately 13 to 15%, right? And I tell you something, the other denominationals in our country know for a fact that we are united. We are united under the tenets of Islam. But when it comes to our private opinions, and when it comes to our private dealings, many of us today, my friends, we are much divided, right? We are much divided. So again, those of you who are locked on, right? I want to tell you all something. I want to clear the air on this, right? Because I tell you something, the Prime Minister of India is going to come maybe for 1 day, 2 days, and then he's going to fly back to his homeland. We have to live in this country together. We have to be a united force. Because I tell you something, when we have problem with roads, it is not a Muslim problem, it is not a Hindu problem, it is not a Christian problem, it is not an Indian or African or Chinese problem, it is a general populist problem. And that's the reason why today I am not upset with Asha doing their part. That's your business, that's your right. you have to do what you have to do. When we look at other Islamic organizations, you have to do what you have to do. I know for a fact, the Palestine issue, when we had Palestine issue, you're going to realize that very few organizations were on board. Many organizations choose to stay quiet, and that was oppression. In the Palestinian issue, that is total annihilation of a people. Right? So again, the ball is in your court. Saturday, we're going to dissect this because I really and truly am not comfortable with the studio today. I'm not comfortable because you know what? I'm not getting the rhythmic tone. So I'm going to close the program here today at this juncture. And my friends, those of you who are locked on, we have to be real. We have to be real. We have to stand up. We have to stand up for the truth, or we're going to fall for everything that is false. Right? Those of you who are for, that's your right. Those of you who are nay, it's your rights. Thank you.